Load-a-roo. Live. We're live. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Friday from here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. It is so nice to spend this Friday evening with you. I appreciate so much that on a fabulous summer Friday night, hopefully you have chosen to grab a beverage and sit down and take a little break and enjoy this little fashion show with me, Priya Mohan, and my daughter behind the camera, Mira.
Hello.
And today, Shefali has put together an unbelievable collection. And it's kind of like it's the collection you didn't know you needed until you see it put together and you're like, how come I don't have things like that in my wardrobe? So we are going to enjoy imagining how these would feel in our own personal wardrobes today. What should I tell you? I should tell you about Sorry Not Sorry. For those of you who don't know us, we are Sorry Not Sorry. Sorry Not Sorry is a brand of clothing designed by me and made in small batches in India. And we work with a small tailoring family using vintage, upcycled, pure silk saris to make clothing that is size inclusive, age inclusive, amazing for travel, that will adapt to your ever-changing body, where every piece is one of a kind, and you'll always find something that you absolutely love and will add a little sparkle to your wardrobe. Has anyone joined us today?
Yes, we have so many of our lovely ladies have already joined us. So Margaret Webb,
Hi,
Deborah
Margaret.
Dixon, Christine Turlow have joined us through YouTube. And then, and Shefali says that the camera thing is fine.
Oh, good. Okay.
And then through our Instagram, we have Dale Ingram joined, Jordy, Sabina, Nancy, Jane, and Sabina says, Happy Lights and Brights Friday Live.
Well, thank you all so much for joining. And thank you so much for sharing images of what you're wearing on the Swap and Sell group. I get so inspired by what I see there. Today, Jordy was wearing green. And I think it was yesterday that Margaret, I believe it was Margaret, was wearing, she went to see a play and she took a picture of herself in intermission. She looked adorable. I believe she was wearing a bolero. And then Carrie posted a picture of herself wearing a pair of Free People jeans with a Jiva jacket, which inspired me to wear the exact same outfit when I went to see Paul Simon last night. So yeah, I really love that you guys are sharing those. I find that they just add that little bit of, oh, wait, I could do that too, which is fun and, creates community. In a world where we are getting very quickly distant from other people, it's really nice that we have sorry sisters. And to remind you, as we've been talking about on the Swap and Sell group for quite some time, our dream is becoming a reality. We are actually going to have a Swap and Sell event at the store on Saturday, I believe it's July 18th. It's whatever the Saturday is that's closest to that, between 12 and 3. And we're going to hold it in the basement. If you're interested in participating, we just want to make sure that we have the right enough space for everybody. So if you're watching this on Instagram or on Facebook, you can comment weekend. And you'll get the link. It does ask you to fill out a registration form. It doesn't cost anything. It's just to make sure that we have enough space for the numbers. And what I expect will happen is that you are going to meet some lovely people, and you will have an opportunity to swap and sell and maybe get pieces at a discount, which is always nice. If you don't have a huge clothing budget at the moment, but you still want to refresh your wardrobe, swap some pieces out. Right? So you get some really fun new things. It starts on the Friday night where we're not going to be doing a live, and we're just going to have like a little get together at the store, and anybody who wants to set up in the basement can get set up. And then on Saturday, we do the actual Swap and Sell. And during that time, the Fringe Festival is going to be going on, which means our street will be turned into a pedestrian zone. And there's going to be acts out there and food trucks like you would not believe. So lots of fun things happening on the street, because King William, where we're located now, is the first place in Hamilton where they are trying something called placification, and it's trying to create a district or a zone where it's more pedestrian friendly, family friendly, community oriented, arts oriented, so that you're going to see blossoming a lot during that pedestrian zone, and you'll get to take part in it if you come and visit us here at the store. And then on the Sunday, we're trying to organize a coffee like a little coffee get together in the morning. I believe it's from 10 till 11:30. We have not found the coffee shop yet because we don't know the numbers. But if you are able to join us for some or all of that, I think it might be a fun way to spend some time on a weekend. If you're local, it's not going to eat up your whole weekend. If you're not local, it'll be a great chance to go see Niagara Falls, which is very close by, which about maybe 40 minutes. Toronto, which is about 50 minutes by car, but also there is a train that goes into Toronto from, like, you can walk to the station. It's about 10 minutes up the road. And yes, if you go onto the Swap and Sell group, there's a lot of ladies who are already chatting about it. They may be able to help you or give you advice on where to stay. And I believe there is also a subgroup that you can go into where they're all talking about that. But the way to get there, to start, is to comment weekend.
Yes.
That was a lot.
Jane says, happy Friday and silk drop. Jordy says, I get so inspired by all of your photos, silky friends. And Sabina says, how was the Paul Simon concert?
The Paul Simon concert was unbelievable. Like, I'm actually getting chills just thinking about it. He's like almost 80. If not 80, he is very close to 80. And when he starts singing, his voice is still very melodic. It's a little rougher than it used to be. And he just has so much passion for his music that it transcends his age. You know, when he's really singing and he has this band behind him, I really couldn't help. Okay, my first thought, AI would destroy this, because I'm looking at an entire stage full of musicians who are taking such pride in their art and in the way that they silently communicate with each other so that they're all playing exactly the right thing and giving each other their solos. And like, it's like they're passing on the spotlight, but then they're also working as a team.
More so AI can't touch this.
Well, AI can't touch this, but AI is going to, I worry that you think it's just going to increase the value of it. I hope so.
Yeah. It's very easy to fall into the AI will destroy these beautiful things. Yeah. But that mentality will also increase the chance of AI destroying these beautiful things.
It's true.
But I was actually thinking, because I saw an ad. I love how we always end up talking about AI.
It's hard not to.
It's impossible not to.
It's hard not to, yeah.
I saw this ad, and it was this girl, and she was staring into a camera, and it was like one of those like influencer ads where they're just talking, and like they're like, what am I going to do about this? So here's the thing. Blah, 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 blah. But the cadence that she was speaking in and like the way that it was done, you could tell it was AI and like the sentences. And so I was thinking that it's really interesting that, and like people are already, have already been talking about this a bit, especially with like when Coachella happened, that the influencer age is slowly dying. Yeah. And I think that AI is really encouraging that, because AI has been able to easily replicate the influencer patterns. Yeah. And so I was just thinking, it was really interesting seeing this ad and how I like immediately realized that this was AI just because of the way that they were speaking and the fact that it was just a random person I'd never seen speaking directly into the camera. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's so easily generated. And it's like my thinking process has already shifted in the time of AI, that I'm like, well, there's not a lot of, like, there's nothing special about this. It wasn't made by humans.
Well, and that's, you know, it's so funny that you say that, because that's what I feel too, is that whole idea. Well, it's not even there's nothing special. For me, it's that, and can you trust it? So there's this guy that I used to follow on YouTube. He talks a lot about geopolitics, and he has started his own YouTube channel. And when I first started watching him, he was really authentic. Like, he would really speak like he was teaching. He had a professorial background. And now whenever you go to see him, it's an AI generated image of him. And his voice, because it's AI generated, swings between a Russian accent, a British accent, and then his actual accent. And I don't usually write comments on these things, but I was like, sir, you do yourself a disservice here. Because I'm like, it's hard enough to trust what Professor Zhang. And I'm like, it's hard enough to trust what's out there, but at least if it's coming from a real face, you know, at least this one person thinks it's true. But when everything is AI generated, my first inclination is to think, I don't believe you.
Well, yeah, like there's that aspect.
I have to interrupt you for 1 second to let everybody know that this is so freaking soft. The color here is actually a red, but it's a deep red with I want to say bluey undertones or maybe even rusty undertones, bluey rust undertones. This yellow is a mustard or an ochre. It's not quite as bright as a mustard. Here we have some lovely little grays, and then the rest is black and cream. This is a cardigan, and then the style underneath is the matching side slit top.
And what color Casbah are you wearing?
I am wearing Casbahs from a few years ago, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. These ones are tapioca. They're a summer collection piece. But the reason I'm really interested in considering these pieces is for my fall pieces, which you can still order, comment linen for the link. I decided to get the cream Casbahs in the heavyweight linen because I feel like I'll wear them a little bit more like in 3-season. Because I do like me a good crisp cream. So yeah, and I think the difference will be that these tapiocas are quite soft, and as they age, they're getting a little bit droopier, which I probably just have to wash them and then they'll tighten right back up. But I think that if I get the heavyweight linen, it's going to just have that little bit of extra weight as well. Mm-hmm. So that is my thinking. Now, please tell me what you were going to say.
Oh, what I was going to say is just that I found recently in a lot of ads and advertisements and projects that I've seen, you can really see the creative aspects behind it. People are working harder to be creative and show that it's done by hand. And so it was just really interesting that there's already a pattern of discernment that I have with ads, even though AI is still so new.
Yeah, it does make me think about how much effort was put in. Here is the problem as somebody who owns a small business. There are some things where, yes, it would be so much better if we could put in our own effort. Like we know that the finished product would be so much better if we didn't use AI. But if we didn't use AI, it would cost so much more because it's actually human time. But other businesses are using AI and sometimes indiscernibly. So it makes it tough. I think what it is I think I keep coming back to this, there has to be regulations so that we are all working from the same playing field. And then you're not going to get punished financially for, supporting a human as opposed to supporting a machine. Or it could go the way you're saying, where people will become so discerning, they'll be like, if your whole business is based on machines and not people, I'm not supporting you, which is where I would love to see it go.
Well, I always think that's where we're headed because regulations for something like this will only be born out of problems.
Yeah.
A regulation won't happen until it's pushed too far.
I think so. And people are definitely taking a stand. And I think the reason that people are taking so much of a stand is it's one thing to say AI out there is a problem, but I think it's this proliferation of data centers where but wait, now you're touching my drinking water and now you're making noise in my neighborhood and now you're using up land that is next to me. And that feels personal, which is great. As it should. So this here is a sheer piece. This also is a side slit top. The background color is a little closer to white, but it does have slightly pink undertones. The color on the inside in here is a gray, and it's almost like an etched pattern. We've obviously got the black diagonal stripes, and then we have this swirly pattern with red and little red etchings in there. And it is a sheer piece. Okay, let's keep talking.
And Jody says, I really tried to talk myself out of ordering the cream Casbahs. I just know today's collection will change my mind right back. Sorry, Wallet.
We're so sorry, too, because that's how I felt when I was getting dressed to come here. Shefali had said, I kind of was a bit MIA this week. It was my birthday last week, and thank you all for all of your birthday wishes. That was so sweet. Thank you. It was really, really sweet. And I was trying to tell my daughter, Hannah, about how much bigger this is than a business. And she kind of already knows, but I was like, I don't know how to explain it to you. It's not just about selling clothes. It's so much bigger. And then one of you wrote me the most lovely message in an email right at that moment. And I looked at my phone and said, see, Hannah, this is how people feel. They feel like they're part of a community and that there's space for them and they're changing and they're growing. And it's so big and all encompassing and it's not about the clothes. And that was a really great birthday gift, that you guys all reached out, because if you're wishing me a happy birthday, it's not all about the clothes. It's about the people. And that's why I'm doing this, is because I feel like we need this now more than ever. So thank you. It was a busy weekend. We went to Ottawa. I think I am finally allowed to tell you I can, right? My eldest daughter is pregnant. She has just finished her first trimester. She lives in Ottawa. Am I allowed to? Are you sure, Mira? I'm allowed to share this?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. If you know her, don't reach out to her, just in case. But yeah.
Yeah, because I think we're just waiting on Donnie and Taya.
Okay.
We're the big ones.
The big ones. So, so last weekend we got together with the family, and my husband's Father's Day gift from my eldest daughter was that he got to tell his family that they were going to be great grandparents, great uncles, and that he was going to be a grandpa. It was crazy, busy weekend and so much fun. So it was Father's Day. There was that big news. There was my birthday. Poor Mira had to stay here and work at the store.
It was good though. I had a good time.
Yes, one of our really great customers came in.
Yeah, Laura Zimmerman came in. It's always so nice when she comes in. So we had a really good time. I was having fun.
That's great. So that was kind of my busy weekend. So I've been out of commission within the realm of the store. And except for taking pictures of this collection, I really haven't been that involved in what's been going on with it. So today, Shefali said to me, just make sure you wear cream pants. So I went into my closet and I'm like, right, I can definitely wear my tapioca Casbahs. I'm going to be so comfortable. This is a brown Ritzy tank, the coffee color, in a size medium, I believe. And then I was looking for something to wear on top, and I realized I don't have anything in these light and bright colors. And when Shefali was coming up with the description for the collection, she said sometimes, now this is a new piece that's dropping on Sunday. The other ones are all available right now. She said, sometimes it's just so hot that even the thought of wearing a color feels like it's going to be too warm. And I kind of thought, yeah, I know exactly what she's talking about. So now I also feel like I'm going to need to add some lighter, softer colors into my wardrobe, even though I am a vivid color person. And today, I don't know how many of you have watched our stories, but Alex was showing these vests, and one of them was the softest cream color with like a roses floral pattern on it in brights. And I thought, that is definitely both things. That is light and bright. Did we put it into this collection today? Do you know which one it was? I don't know either. It's probably not sitting here. But yeah, it was so beautiful. And it really made me think, I do want to have more of these lights and brights in my collection, especially for those very hot days. Now, this color here, it's hard to describe. And I believe these are poppies, but I could be wrong. All of my gardeners out there, have a look and let me know what you think.
I thought they were poppies too.
They look like poppies to me.
But they're the ones that are usually look like violets, but can come in different colors. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about...
Why do you feel like Victoria's somewhere in there?
I don't know. I was thinking you were talking about not impatience.
Sure.
I thought you were talking about impatience. So the color, this is interesting. So the reason why it looks both red and pink, it is because it is both red and pink. It's got so many different shades. This is very much right here, like a true fuchsia, but then here we get into a deeper red, and then that's a deep burgundy going on to brown. And because you have the pinks and reds side by side, it's really hard to tell which one it is.
So we have some lovely comments. Demra says, ordered the cream Casbah pants. Really looking forward to receiving them. Christine Turlo says, congratulations. How exciting.
It's very exciting.
Margaret Webb says, yes, those are poppies. Jane says, oh, how exciting for everyone. Congratulations. Sabina says, oh, congratulations. Jacqueline Webb says, congratulations. Such exciting news. Michelle has joined us as well and says, hi, everyone. Happy Friday.
Hi, Michelle.
And, she said, what did I miss? You got to break the news one more time.
So my eldest daughter just finished her first trimester. I'm going to be a grandma.
Yay! And then Christine Aiklin says congratulations as well. Jane tried to fill in the news as well. Thank you, Jane. She said new baby coming for the oldest daughter. Christine Aiklin confirmed that it's a poppy.
Thank you.
Eldest daughter, Henna is in the middle. So
Henna is my middle daughter.
Nisha is the eldest. Sabina says that it was definitely lights and brights in Alex's story. And Judy has joined us and says happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Michelle says, thank you, ladies. Have wonderful a baby. And Catherine says that is so exciting.
It's really exciting. And I knew earlier, but I wasn't allowed to say anything. And I feel like I can share this because I feel like this is something that we as women really need to talk about more. My daughter has endometriosis, but it's undiagnosed because in order to actually diagnose endometriosis, it's very invasive, and so they don't do it. But she has had horrible periods her whole life, debilitating periods, like collapse on the ground while walking to school and gagging and throwing up, kind of horrible periods. And so there was some question as to whether or not she could even get pregnant because we didn't know what was going on in here. And I just keep reading more and more about how much medicine is focused around the male body and not the female body.
They've only just started doing studies on female bodies. Like,
it's crazy.
They've done it on female bodies. I misspoke. They're including female bodies. Like, for instance, all of the all the research and data that we have about car crashes and how the body
is impacted by a car crash? Yeah.
It's only on male bodies.
Wow.
So they've only just started doing female crash dummies because women also have different centers of gravity.
Yeah. So, so I've known for quite some time. Okay, so it's so exciting to be able to actually share this with you now.
We do have okay. Everyone is saying congratulations again.
Thank you.
Deborah says congrats on the news. Being a grandma is the absolute best. And Judy says congratulations, grandma, or nana.
Oh, I'm going with the Indian version, Nani. I'm going to be Nani.
A classic Nani.
Yes, and Matt's mom is going to be Nona.
Whoa, Italian.
Yeah. Is it Nona, right? It is Nona?
That's what it feels.
That's what they decided was Nona.
Oh, well, I've only ever heard Nona with an Italian.
Yeah, but they're not Italian. I, too, was a little surprised.
I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Who knows what they are?
The British, as far as I know.
Can you describe the background color of the vest?
Yeah. So let me make sure it's right side out. Yes. Okay, so I want to say that the reason it's so hard to tell the color is because it's a lot of colors. So this background, the actual background color is a true pale cream, like an ecru, but it's taking on a yellowish hue because this is an ochre that kind of outlines it. And the ochre is kind of casting a bit more of a yellow into this space, which is actually a true cream with no yellow at all. And then other than that, we have sky blues, we have some blacks, some more ochres. This is a red, but because it's kind of like the way that it's put on, camera's here. Mm-hmm. It's not a solid dye. It's almost like it looks like it was stamped on, but it's not. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit lighter because there are spaces in between where you can see the cream. And then we have some more sky blue here, cobalt blue. So a little bit of everything, but the background is definitely cream.
A true cream.
A true cream.
Heather says, what does an Indian grandmother call themselves? Dadima? That's on the men side.
So this took some explaining because we had, Jack was there, Henna's boyfriend, and so we were explaining all of the names and the way that it works. So everybody in an Indian family has an honorific. So you're not just Priya, you're Priya something. And that something is the relationship, usually to you via your parents. So Dadima is my husband. How do I explain this? Grandmother on your father's side. Because it's your dad's mother is the easiest way to remember it. So it's Dadi Ma. And then her husband is Dadu. And on the woman's side, so on my side, my parents to my kids are Nani and Nana. Mm-hmm. But then siblings also have titles. So my husband's eldest brother is Taya, which is an honorific for oldest brother or oldest uncle. And then all the younger uncles are Chachus. And then you have the same thing on the woman's side. What?
Why am I a Masi and not a Chachi?
You are a Masi. So Mira is going to be Mira Masi because you're the baby's mother's sister. If you were the baby's father's sister, you wouldn't even be Chachi, you'd be Foy or Bua. Yeah, everybody's got a name. And
Mira Bua?
You would be Mira Bua, but you're not. You're Mira Masi for sure.
But I feel like everybody's a Mossy.
Well, that's because you have so many female cousins, and cousins are considered sisters, which just makes it that much more complicated.
Yeah.
But the way that kids learn the different honorifics,
So sorry.
Is this one of the new ones? No, right?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Would you say it's a sky blue or more than a turquoise?
I'm going to call that a sky blue.
Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of green in it, and turquoise would have more green in it. There. So yeah, when you learn everybody's name, you learn what to add to the end. So it just becomes one word, like Priya Masi or Ravi Mama or Pratik Mama or Jimmy Chachu. Like you just learn it that way. So yeah.
Spider FJS.
Oh, that's Damien.
Dang it. So he said, and this is how I became Uncle D, which resulted in me becoming DG.
Oh, so cool. DG. Yeah, that makes sense because G is an honorific.
Like GI.
Yeah, it's just like a term of respect, like sir. It's like sir, but at the end of a name. So
I just feel like everyone's a Mossy, so it's just like crazy though. Like I'm just gonna be Mossy.
Yeah. But a Mossy is a very important role. Mother's sister is
Shout
like as
out
close.
Anita Mossy.
Yeah, it's like as close as you can get to your mom. If your mom's not available, you go to your Mossy.
I mean, I guess. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Sabina says this collection feels so fresh. I love it.
It really does. It really does. And I think that these lights and brights are kind of undervalued because we all love color so much. But it's easy to forget that you can have those bright colors, but still have the softness of, the lighter tones. So I'm just picking my favorites, guys? Oh, I love this one. I have always loved
Heather
this one.
says you can be a Maxi Mossy Mira.
Yes, you can be Maxi Mossy.
Yes, the best.
You totally can. So we still don't know what my husband's going to get called. He hasn't made up his mind. I think for a while they thought that my name was going to be Ba, which is another way of saying like mother or grandmother. And then if I was Ba, he was going to be Humbug, which is not an Indian word at all. He just really thought it was funny that it would be Ba and Humbug.
We're going to Ba Humbug's house.
Yeah. This one has been around for so long, and I still love it.
I thought we had a cardigan in it, but I don't know for sure.
It might have sold already.
It is a beautiful piece.
It's a beautiful fabric. Definitely underrated. So you have a fuchsia in here with slight bluey undertones. This is somewhere between an emerald and a teal. Then we've got the browns here that almost like a nutmeg, and then the background is a true cream. And then there's a little bit of that mustard yellow in there as well.
It's a very coastal look with the cream casbah.
Yeah, right? Because usually what we would do is we would pair this with something like this.
Where it's very color heavy.
Yeah, where like we would just go bananas with color,
It's
right?
kind of like here it's Sorry Not Sorry. When we are making outfits, we really like to color drench.
We do color drench. And it's great, but I also agree with Shefali. Sometimes there are days that are just so hot, even color feels like too much. And that's where you get this. Look at the difference, when you switch it out. So these are the emerald palazzo pants in cotton, and then that's with cream.
Judy says he should be Boo Boo, then it would be Nani and Boo Boo.
Oh my God, I love that. Yeah, we're just making up names at this point, guys. We're just having so much fun with it.
On like first name basis, so it's Nani and Gord.
Nani and Gord. So my husband's, as many of you know, my husband's name is Gautam, but he goes by Gord. But those of people who really know him just call him Goat, G-A-U-T. But for those people who don't know how you would spell it, they're wondering, why do you call your husband an animal's name?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really funny where like you're out in public and you all goats, and everyone's like, why are they calling farmyard animals?
It's so crazy. You don't even think about. I'm like, everyone understands that that's a name.
Yeah.
No one's confused.
No one is confused.
And why would you be confused? I love that one so
this
much.
one,
it's such a beautiful.
This is a new set. This is one of the ones that's coming out.
That is like the colors of my mom's bedroom.
It is actually. You're right. It's
not as much anymore, but definitely at the gingerbread house.
Yes, definitely at the gingerbread house. Now it's a little bit more corals and less reds. But the colors that you're seeing in here, the background is a pistachio. Then there's an ochre kind of a yellow. There's a muted leaf green. This shade here is a gray, but slight blue undertones. And then we have multiple shades of red. And then these are pink.
I love this pattern so much, but it's mostly because it reminds me of definitely a pair of the block printed pajamas you own.
Oh.
So it just makes me think of my mom.
It is very, very floral, but I think because it has that kind of muted pistachio, I feel like it makes it a little more serious.
Yeah, I love the red on the sleeves.
Yeah, this is a beautiful piece.
Jordy says, and this is why I laughed, Jordy says, Bah Humbug would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
My friend has a bit of a grumpy dad, and the family decided that he would be called Grumpa.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
And then Heather goes, goat means greatest of all time.
Yes.
All this time, that's what I thought gourd was.
He would love that you think that. So that's my big news. I'm very excited. My daughter lives in Ottawa, though, and she's due on Christmas Day. So it's going to be an exciting Christmas around here.
Guys, like low-key, she's giving birth to my enemy.
You'll need to explain.
So
in so many ways.
In so many ways, she said this, I'm literally like
this is personal against you.
Yeah. So me, I go to Nisha for emotional support and good times. Nisha is like my second mom within the family. And so I'm like, oh, so you're just going to take on another kid? A more needy kid that I have to take the back burner? One way that this is an enemy. 2, if the baby is born in December, they're going to be a Sagittarius. I'm a Cancer. A Cancer and a Sagittarius are literally direct opposites. So we either get along beautifully, like Shafali and I, or we get along horribly, like Hannah and I in our childhood.
Oh, no.
And so we're going to find out whether it's a good Sagittarius or an enemy Sagittarius.
Oh, no.
And then, third and finally, Christmas is my freaking holiday.
It is.
It is my freaking holiday because I love how festive it is, and I love the gifts, and I love the decorations, and I actually don't get tired of Christmas songs. I'm immune that way. And this baby's gonna be born on Christmas.
Yeah. Yep. It's gonna change Christmas forever.
Yeah, this baby said dibs. Dibs on this holiday. And I'm like, fine. That's okay, I guess. So, and it'll be exciting because it's gonna be a baby and it's gonna be my little niece that's not an animal.
Or could be
a nephew.
It could be a nephew.
Oh, I don't even want to manifest that.
Okay.
Well, mostly because, so we have this whole thing where for my mom, it was all girls in her family. And for my dad, it was all boys in his family. And then for our entire generation, it has been all girls. Like all of the cousins have been all girls. And then Navani was born a little bit late. Like
she's way later. So their youngest cousin is 10 right now.
And
like, Nisha is 30.
Yeah. So like there's big age difference. And even though she was like born way later, she's still in the cousin generation, and she was a girl. And so we're terrified that we will be cursed with all boys afterwards. And it'll be fine because there's so much female energy that it'll compensate.
Plus, we need to raise some good boys.
Yeah, but this is where, don't even get me started. Is it possible you can do so much and then the world is just so terrible? You know?
Yeah.
It's a hard knock life, guys. This one has been here for a while and it's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
It looks like a combo of styles because it's not like, it looks like traditional, but then it also looks like block print.
It does. Well, I feel like some of it is block printed.
Right?
Like this right here definitely looks block printed. Some of it does look printed. But then it's got this really kind of a modern crisscross grid design there.
Watermelon.
It does look a little bit like watermelon, but...
Oh, can you go this way a little bit? Sorry.
Actually, you know what? I didn't even think of it as watermelon until you said it.
Watermelon.
I think it's because it's got so much cream in it.
Well, it's like the picnic blanket, and then there's the watermelon on the picnic blanket.
And the picnic blanket is cream colored?
And the picnic blanket is white with flowers.
I actually think some of this is blue. Is that blue or is that?
I think it's black, but it's from the dye. Like, you know how it kind of like fades out?
Yeah. It kind of reads like
black.
Yes, it looks like an indigo based black right here. So it kind of looks blue, but then here it definitely looks black. So I guess it's kind of both. And for those of you who don't know, this is a sculptural tunic dress. She is sheer and lovely.
Jacqueline Webb says, I have 2 sons and their families in Ottawa and 1 grandson who was born on Boxing Day.
Oh, how exciting.
Michelle says, if the baby is born after December 22nd, she will be a Capricorn. We can only pray. And we can only pray because I think I would get along with a Capricorn.
This is beautiful. How has this not sold?
I don't. The one thing that I find is tricky with this one is that a lot of people can feel stuck because they think that whatever they pair with it will be too dark underneath. But if you could come closer to the camera bit and kind of bend down. My mom is wearing like a dark brown tank top underneath, and you actually like it doesn't.
You can't
it's
see
not
it.
Very sheer.
No, how's it look from the back?
From the back, it looks great. I actually wonder if you want to try it to the front because the front part is all red on the other side.
Oh, okay. So this is the correct way, but like these dresses, like most of our things, you can wear them either way to the front. I think the neckline just goes up a little bit.
Jane says, babies sleep a lot. Don't worry. That's very true, but I also fear that Nisha will be sleeping a lot.
Nisha is already sleeping a lot.
I called my mom and she thought that I called her and she's like, were you trying to contact me? And I'm like, no, I'm okay. She's like, okay, well, I'm going to go to bed. And I was like, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, she's doing a lot of sleeping.
Judy says a lot of babies arrive late, maybe New Year's baby to save your Christmas. And you guys, you know what? You're making me feel so much better. A New Year's baby would be so okay because then there's an excuse to stay in. You know, who wants to be out on New Year's Eve? Trying to get a car to get anywhere?
No, we celebrate a birthday on New Year's Eve, except Dadima's birthday is New Year's Eve.
Yeah, but we've only celebrated that together like once. It's fine.
Yeah. So this one is that one.
Whoa, that would be really
caftan, short caftan, tunic length caftan. What were you going to say?
I'm so sorry. I was just thinking about the consequences of the baby being born closer to
Dadima's birthday.
Closer to January because it threatens Chaya and Dadima's birthday.
It does.
It's a dangerous time to be born, girl. Jordy says the gender-free word for niece or nephew is nibbling.
Oh, I love that.
I think that's the cutest word I've ever heard.
I think so too. Oh, we have to start using that.
Nibbling.
We got to put that in the family chat immediately. And only we don't explain it. We just, and it has to be you because it's your nephew niece.
I don't know if I like the word nibbling.
You have to.
I don't know if I like
It's adorable.
Nibbling?
Nibbling. Not my sibling, but my nibbling. Ah!
But it's like nibbling.
Yeah, there's like a corn vibe to it.
But like it's because it's like eating.
Oh, like a nibble.
Like nibble.
It's great.
Mm.
I love this. Like, again, light and bright. It feels so airy. Like it would bring you coolness. Coolth, as I like to call it.
Bring you coolth.
Coolth. Yeah, I love it.
Jacqueline Webb says, I have 4 sons and 10 grandchildren, but
that's
4
exciting.
of them are girls. Finally, some female energy. Wow, you're so brave. And you're so brave. Jane says, new moms are actually always late.
Yeah, Nisha was late. Nisha was 2 weeks late. So, yeah, she'll probably be late, Mira. You'll be okay. She's not happy, guys. You should see her face.
It's a risky time. It's a dangerous time. And this also is like, because like Nisha's going to want to have she has like officially created her own family that she's probably going to do her own Christmas. And that's just so rude too.
She hasn't abandoned us yet. I don't think she'll abandon us ever.
I don't know.
It is kind of inevitable. You don't want to hear that? Okay.
Yeah, that's not the answer. That's actually
we're going to make Mira cry again. The goal is to make Mira cry during every Friday Live.
That was really rough. That was a rough Friday, guys.
Somebody, I think it was Catherine, she messaged and she's like, yeah, honestly, that bunny story made me want to cry.
Yeah, it was really sad.
And then I mentioned it when I saw everybody on the weekend. And Nisha was like, yeah, Mom, that story traumatized me.
No, like as soon as you mentioned the 9 bunny tails, I said literally, like I got take off my mic, I'm done. I gotta go. This is beautiful.
This is beautiful. Now, this one is available right now. How this little one has not sold is fully beyond me.
And this might be a little silly, crazy of me to say, but it feels like you stole Christine Akelin's silk.
It does feel like a Christine Akelin piece, doesn't
It's just
it?
the right blues, the movement in the piece.
Mm-hmm. And the paisley with the florals.
Well, that's what I love is the paisley with the florals really creates like very nice movement within the silk.
And the colors we have here, like this is actually, it's a brown, but it's a brown with ever so slightly a little bit of purple in it, but it would still be called a brown. And then of course we have the different shades of blue. These here have, so I'm going to call that a Tiffany blue, it's that shade. But then these are different shades of indigo.
But it's a bit of a muted Tiffany blue. Like it isn't vibrant.
No, it's not. It's slightly muted. And then this, it's not satin, but it's a different weave and it's reflective. And then I think the other side has satin. Yeah, this is satin right here.
Margaret Webb says, congrats. And Mira, it is her first baby and they're often very late in arriving. So it could be a New Year's baby or later. Deborah Dixon says, our oldest granddaughter was born on December 22nd. It's so fun. Michelle says, January babies are fabulous. And Jane says she's going to need help. Yeah.
I am already planning to go down there.
All hands on deck.
All hands on deck. So she asked me to be there for the 2 weeks right before she gives birth. And then I'm like, and do you want me there after? And she goes, undecided. So I can kind of get that because they really want to bond with the baby. But what I think she doesn't realize is they're also going to want sleep.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't think it was like you're going to need, you want people there so you can hang out with your baby and the house will function around you.
Somebody to cook, someone to clean.
Someone to cook, someone to clean so that you can just be like,
do laundry.
I hold baby, I sleep, I shower.
But she'll get there. When she gets there, I'll make sure I'm available.
Yeah.
I don't know how that one
somehow it's like I've been prepping for this day my entire life because of my fear of pregnancy.
I think you need to explain to them your fear of pregnancy. This is beautiful too.
I feel like it speaks for itself. That is, yes, granted the body is built for it. Yes, every woman is like totally worth it. I love my baby.
You're shaking her head right now.
You're not supposed to know anything. There's a reason they didn't share stuff about pregnancy. Like,
it's better not to
go in blind.
You do have to go in blind.
And unfortunately, I no longer have that blessing.
Yeah. They do give you really good drugs when you deliver.
Yeah. And like, I'm sure when you're delivering, it's fine because you're also not in your right mind.
And you'll forget it.
Exactly. Is that not a little silly crazy?
Well, it's, important to continue the population of humans.
So anyways, everything about it makes, I don't like it. However, I have learned the best way to make healing pads when you're pregnant after post-labor. Because I've ended up on the mom side of TikTok. Yeah. A cooling mint pad, then you have like the wipes, then you have like the witch hazel.
Where do these go? Like in your...
Yeah, it's post. You're gonna freeze them so they're cold.
Wow. I wish I had known this when I had my 4th degree tears.
You're gonna have them and they're soaked in different, like one is in witch hazel and then one is in a different oil or something. And then you have a bunch of little wipes. And then there's literally like the spray that you put on it. Wow. Because I just ended up on TikTok and it's just mothers who are literally like, they just gave birth. And they're like, this is what they didn't tell you. But I'm woman enough to tell you. Yeah. This is what you need to do.
Well, when Nisha was born, it was a very difficult delivery. It was a mid-forceps delivery. And they thought they were going to have to do a cesarean. She got stuck. My actual obstetrician, my OBGYN, I think she fell asleep. And then finally my husband just was like, somebody needs to look after her, Priya, me. And it turns out that he was a lawyer at the time. He is still a lawyer. And it turns out one of the nurses who was in charge of me was the sibling of a lawyer that he went to school with. And so she recognized him and they were chatting and my husband was like, nothing has moved, like nothing has happened for the last 10 hours. Like we're just sitting here. And she's like, yeah, I think something is wrong. And then I guess she went behind the scenes and she was like, this guy's wife's a lawyer. You guys better start like paying attention. And suddenly everybody was like, yeah, this is weird that nothing has happened. And so then they continued to induce the baby. And then there was a mid-forceps delivery. She came out looking like she had been in a fight, like bruised eyes, bruised everything. And I will never forget this. Dadima, I'm about to throw you under the bus. So she was born and I'm there with my husband going like, I don't even know how I survived that. And he's like crying too, because he's like, the baby's one thing, but you won't, like, I almost lost you. And she comes in and she sees us crying. She goes, it's okay. The baby's fine. I was like, I don't need this right now.
Hey, Diva, simple app.
So that happened. what was the point of the story? Oh, right. So then I said to the nurse, I'm like, that was a really difficult delivery, wasn't it? Because obviously my first, she goes, yeah, you got 4th degree tears. And I'm like, oh, how many degrees does it go up to?
I remember you telling me that.
Like, 4. And I'm like, crap. It was, yeah.
You're like, right.
Good. That's what I needed to know. Good to know.
Jacqueline Webb says all mine were natural births and my second was born at home.
Wow.
And Michelle says both of mine were at home too.
Oh, that's exciting.
And then, Shafali's in the know too. I know when someone else is on Mom Talk. She said witch hazel spray, freezing stuff, and a big disposable underwear. I know that's right. Jordy says, Mira, I'm with you. It was not for me. Then my best friends all had kiddos, so I went into major research mode in order to be a supportive friend, / honorary aunt. Yeah, yes. That's kind of where I'm at. Is like, I'm going to be great. I'm going to be so cool. I'm going to be like the aunt who picks you up and is like, let's go to Disney World.
Let's do a craft.
And then I'm going to drop them off.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be like, hey, we're playing in a really big field. You should check them for ticks. Bye. Bye. We had fun. Here you go.
Well, you do have 2 sisters who want to have kids.
Exactly.
So you might end up being an aunt to at least 2 kids.
Well, that's what I mean. There will be children that I do not have to push out of my body.
And that's okay.
Like also, and
this one's beautiful.
I'm so sure that a lot of the women watching this will agree that they have shared this sentiment, but it is so crazy that everyone is just, all women are just okay with the fact that like they're just gonna pee their pants a little bit in life.
Yeah.
You know, they've all just accepted, I'm gonna pee my pants.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
like,
what they don't know, Pat, you know how it is after you have kids. And I'm like, hey,
I don't want to know.
I had a kid once and now I'm peeing my pants for the rest of my life.
Well, you know what I didn't know until I had my first one was that when your body is pushing everything out, it really does push everything out.
You're going to poop.
And
it's not even I'm trying not to poop. I'm so delicate. You're going to poop.
And because, well, for me, I was frozen from the waist down. So I didn't know what was happening. So they're like, I'm surrounded by doctors and nurses and they're like, you need to push. And then I smell this smell. I'm like, God, that's so gross. Like, did you have to fart right now? Like, can you tell that things are going on right now? And they're like, oh, honey, that was you. And it wasn't just a fart.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, did not know that. I did not know that.
In front of people, so like, why would I want to do that?
Yeah.
There's just a lot.
It's a lot.
They got to keep behind the scenes. And I get it. You get the like most amazing loot bag.
You get a great loot bag.
You get a great loot bag from going into labor. And I totally respect that.
I love
It's just not my kind of game.
And I love how it looks with the cream, but I bet it would also look great with denim.
Okay, is this
how has this not sold? And it's wabi sabi.
I've never seen it. It's so beautiful. I love the back too because it reminds me of the butterfly.
It's so pretty. Like, how has this not sold?
And it's actually not that sheer either. I thought it was going to be more of a sheer piece.
No, it's really not. You know, I don't even think I've barely shown any of the new ones because there's so many beautiful pieces that we already had.
Thank you, Shafali. She said, don't worry, Mira. You can play with my child. That's right, guys. Shafali has had a kid this whole time. No, I'm just kidding.
They're just going to call you Mossy. They're going to forget the Mira part. You will be defined as your role as an aunt.
That's crazy. I'm going to be just Mossy for so many kids.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm too young for this, guys.
So this is another piece that we already have. This one's a poncho as well.
I love this one so much.
Lights and Brights was such a great idea.
Because I think it actually kind of looks like a mango on a tree.
A mango on a tree?
Like on a branch.
Like these?
That's the mango and the rest is the branch.
Yeah, it is beautiful. It's almost like there's a grid pattern in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Colors are different shades of sky blue and teal, cream, and then different shades of pink. Like a watermelon pink, but it's mottled, so it's not that dark.
Jordy says, I got the poncho in this because of Kim from, I think,
A Story,
the waterfall one.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And then Judy says, that's 100% okay, Mia. Thank you, Judy. And Heather says about peeing your pants only during jumping jacks, which honestly is actually pretty avoidable, so that's good. And then Jane says, I'm an honorary aunt as well, and if everyone has died that wanted me to take their children, I would have had about 10 kids.
Oh my gosh.
I'm good I didn't have kids, but I have quite a few honorary nephews and niece. That's so sweet.
That's so sweet.
Jordy says, there's a brilliant ad about pooping during pregnancy. Sounds wild, but it's actually amazing. Michelle says, to Jane, she says, I love that there's a place for all of it and always so thankful to the honoraries. And Jane says, I'm just glad no one died. And then Margaret says, it's because they don't give pre-birth enemas the way they did back in the midwifery days.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I need to talk to Nisha about...
she's getting a midwife, eh?
Yeah, she should get a midwife, and she should also not lie down to give birth.
Well, they kind of tip the bed up and put you in stirrups.
But you're usually
actually, no, not even stirrups. What I remember is they held your legs.
They held your legs, but
yeah.
We were never supposed to give birth on your back. You're supposed to use gravity and be squatting.
Yeah. I can see that.
So, like, a lot of people, like, especially because I took an Indigenous mothering and motherhood class, and it was honestly one of my favorite classes I've taken, and it stuck with me for so long. And it was one of the few classes that actually really changed my perspective on pregnancy and motherhood, and like it was Can
I interrupt you for just a tiny second?
What? Yeah.
There is a backstory to your story that you don't know. So you were doing that Indigenous mothering class in school, and you had to do a final presentation, and you were using Canva.
Yeah.
And what you did was you created all of these images of mothers and daughters and children, and it was beautiful, this like collage that you had made. And I went onto Canva, and it was close to Mother's Day. And I'm like, oh, Mira's making me this beautiful Mother's Day gift. It's so lovely. I'll have to pretend I didn't see it.
Oh my God, why would you tell me that?
It's years ago now.
Oh my God, I feel so bad. Oh, I'm sorry. It was a school project.
Yep, I figured that out.
Well, my bad.
It's not your bad at all. It's hilarious.
Hashtag my bad. But it was a really beautiful class, and it was just really, really sweet. And it was also really beautiful because they talked about like postpartum depression in a very honest way. I know that one's really pretty.
Stunning. This is a new release, I think.
Me of like watching TV on an old TV.
Really?
You know how like it's kind of has like the staticky rainbow like cover, like filter when you're watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Digital print for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay, tell us more about the Indigenous.
It was just really beautiful because it was like, it just was really honest about explaining the emotion behind it because it was through like women's personal stories and how like they had these feelings, but it was almost like not towards their baby and not towards themselves. And it felt like there was like an other person because they had so much guilt about how they were feeling. It was just very beautiful and very like real and raw and very like just, it was very special to read.
Oof.
But
this one is like butter. It's so soft.
I know, that one's really beautiful.
Wow. The colors are indigo, kind of like a olive green, khaki, and burgundy with purpley undertones.
And this one reminds me of Regency era.
Ooh. Yeah, it feels kind of Jane Austen-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly that. But any hoozles, all that to say that there was just a lot of really beautiful... You put it on backwards. I hope you knew that.
On purpose, okay. As one does.
As one does. Yeah, it was very nice. And then Jane says, that's true. Squatting is the easiest on your body. And Jordy says, these days, even in the hospital, you can give birth all kinds of different ways, like in a pool.
Yeah, Nisha says the one that she's planning on going to has a pool.
Yeah.
And the midwife becomes like a main person involved in it. And the doctors, I guess, are only called in as needed.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty exciting, actually. And then Nisha's asking me all these questions about what kind of things she needs, like, you know, in terms of strollers and things. And I'm like, I'm going to have to research it because so much has changed in 30 years.
Oh, completely.
Like, I'm sure most of what we used is banned.
Yeah.
for one reason or another.
Well, already like jolly jumpers were like the main thing for your kid, and people are like, it messes their hips.
Does it really?
I feel like Alex has talked a lot about how like doctors have told her that like, because she used to be in a jolly jumper a lot.
And then that's why her hips.
Something to do with like joints or something. There's like a whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys were all raised in jolly jumpers.
I know.
Yeah. So is this a new one, Mira?
I believe so, because we used to have it in a midi caftan, but now it's gone.
Can you check? Do you mind? PRC. Oh dear. I'm wearing contacts too. PRC.
Oh dear.
8958. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Okay, PRC what?
8958. This one is too beautiful. That embroidery is crazy.
So this one is new and will be releasing on Sunday. And the other one was a side-tie tunic that is now sold.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
It's so beautiful. I used to show the side-tie tunic all the time on the stories because I couldn't get past the embroidery.
That embroidery is
incredible.
Crazy. I've never seen anything like this. Can you imagine this as a sari?
No, I know. It's one of my favorites.
Wow. Which actually brings me to the topic I thought we were going to be talking about today. I would say that this sari is classy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've been thinking a lot about classy. Let me explain why.
Before you get into that.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Before you get into that, Heather says, up a baby stroller.
I knew that there was a Cadillac in baby strollers.
There always is.
There, and it's the uppa. That's really good to know.
Jordy says, I think the Jolly Jumper was the first patent in Canada to be held by an Indigenous person.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
That's exciting.
What if it's just a hate campaign? I could see that.
I could see it too.
Sadly. And then Margaret Webb says, I have the kimono sleeve top and that last short caftan pattern.
Oh, this one.
That would be beautiful.
And so soft. Wow. It's a dream.
It's so nice.
It's so nice. Like you could
and
spend
the colors
all day.
play together so beautifully. Like it just like has like a purple vibe because of how the colors play together.
Yeah, it's stunning. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, I keep pulling pieces that are not, like this isn't part of the new collection either. This is existing. And it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I had to, Shafali didn't know that I cried 3 separate times during the live.
Oh, no, she didn't.
So I told her, I was like, yeah, it was just like so emotional. Like, I think I was just having like, I was PMSing. But it was just, like, so, it was an emotional attack. The moon was in Cancer. It's not my fault. But I was telling Shafali and she's like, oh yeah, I think I only caught one of those. And I was like, and that was like, after the other 2 times too.
Yeah, last week's was emotional.
Yeah. So, classy.
So, okay, let me give you the backstory to the classy discussion. And some of you may have seen my post from a couple of days ago where I asked you guys to help me define classy. And here's why. So on my birthday, I was asked who was the classiest person I knew. And I really had to stop and think because I couldn't think of any one person because I could think of ways where I thought people were classy, but then I didn't want to give them that, I'm going to go with moniker, with that title that, that this person is classy because there was something about them where I thought, no. So the reason that this came up is because on New Year's this year, this current 2026 year, what?
So I checked. The Jolly Jumper was created by an Indigenous woman. She was an Ojibwe woman raised on the White Earth Reservation in Minnesota. And she invented the Jolly Jumper in 1910. Wow. And her name was Suzanne Olivia Poole.
That's so cool. And good for her for getting it patented.
Yeah, that's really sick. I had no idea. So thank you, Jordy. That's really cool to learn. Also, Jane said, classy, I think, is Michelle Obama. That's really good. That's really good.
Yes. She fits everything that I think is classy.
And who the classiest person that I know is, when my mom asked me, is Ooh, those are some really good answers too, Judy.
Yeah, I need to hear them.
The one that I said was, and she has already been mentioned today, my 10-year-old cousin,
Nivani.
Because that is one classy gal. She is super polite, and she'll be like, excuse me, can you please help me with this? I help her. She looks me dead in the eye. She goes, thank you so much for your help. I'm going to go do this. Let me know if you need anything. I'm like, let me know if you need anything. Girl.
So I did tell her that she was classy when I saw her yesterday or the day before. Mm-hmm. And she didn't know what it meant. She was like, thanks, but what does it mean? And so I said, it means that other people respect you because of the energy that you bring into a room, and that you're filled with kindness, but you're also like, you know who you are. And she was like, these are all good. And her dad, Chachu, was there. Yeah. And he's like, Nivani, these are all good. And she's like, yeah, these are all good.
She's so, yeah, I think she's the classiest person I know. One of the classiest people. I've met a lot of classy people.
Okay, I need to hear the definition of classy, because I have honestly been giving this too much thought.
I will pull it up in a second too.
Okay.
Judy says, alive Michelle Obama, anytime. And then, alive Michelle Obama, anytime.
Of all time?
Audrey Hepburn.
I knew you were going to say Audrey Hepburn.
And then Jane says she's also best orator in Family.
Wow.
About Michelle Obama. And Jordy says, I'm willing to be very open-minded about definitions of classy, but I think there is an element of formality involved, something distinguished, but not necessarily stuffy.
That's where I got stuck. So I've been thinking a lot about classy, because when they were so this is the year of being classy. On New Year's Eve, Serena and Chaya and Henna decided that this was the year of being classy. So that's why it came up, because I guess they're having these conversations all year long. And so they said, who's the classiest person you know? And then they said, we have to tell you, Chachi, you made the list, but you weren't on top of the list. And I was like, oh, I thought I was classy.
Happy to be considered.
Yeah, appreciate the consideration. Mm-hmm. But then I was thinking, well, do I think of myself as classy? And then I was thinking, no. And so I said to them that I actually thought that Serena's grandmother, is this a definition?
Yeah, are we a Merriam-Webster kind of gal or a Cambridge Dictionary kind of gal?
Cambridge.
And this is why I ask. Continue your story.
Okay. So Serena's grandmother on her mother's side was the wife of the premier of Nova Scotia, I believe, or Newfoundland, probably Newfoundland. And so she was, very put together. She always wore nylon. She was gracious, even into her very old age. Her hair was always set. It was like talking to the queen. And I was telling Serena that I actually think she is technically the classiest person I've met. But then I realized that classiness was associated with privilege, that she had the privilege of having the money to not be bothered by all the little problems that make it difficult for other people to be classy all the time. So that really got me thinking about the definition of classy. And then the other thing that I was thinking about being classy, this is really soft, by the way, is that I kind of fear, except for the Michelle Obama example, which I love, is that classiness is sometimes equated with somebody who gives without taking up space. And I don't know how I feel about that. So I would love your comments.
And Cambridge didn't have a good definition. So this one I found on vocabulary.com.
Okay.
Classy is a word used to describe people, places, or things that have a lot of class. But a classy person isn't just someone who wears expensive clothes. Classy can also refer to someone who puts a high standard on the way he behaves. Classy gentleman opens doors for ladies. A classy gesture is something someone does that reflects this high standard of behavior. Giving up your seat to a pregnant lady on the bus is a classy gesture.
It's a classy thing, yeah. And that doesn't cost money. And it doesn't matter how you dress, right?
I think it's classy is chivalry without being chivalrous and kind without being like
arrogant,
walked all over kind of thing,
Okay, so
like, you're still firm. Like, it's not like I'm just doing this for something in return.
Yeah.
You're doing this because you're sure of yourself, but also like you're kind and you're giving, but you're not easy to.
You're not naive.
You're not naive.
Okay, so Jack Donaghy on 30 Rock, classy, not classy, not classy. Why?
Because his class 1 is all an attempt to hide his true nature of who he is.
Which is insecure.
Which is insecure because he's just a kid from Boston.
Yeah.
But also he uses classy as a means to get things.
Yes.
And so it isn't genuine.
So classiness has to be authentic.
I think it doesn't have to be all authentic because I think people.
So can it be performative then?
Yeah. I think
Classiness can be performative.
I'd say Jack Donahue is performatively classy. Because it affords him things in life.
Well, and then I would say that Heather's grandmother was also performatively classy in the kindest way possible. Mm-hmm. She was performing the expectations of her generation and of her role.
Yeah. And then looking at Michelle Obama, I think that she that's not performative. I think she's always been really classy in how she acts and the way that she interacts with other people.
Because it's so authentic and it takes up space, but it also leaves room for others.
Yeah. That's it. Like, it's very genuine in consideration of others. And like everything surrounding her just reflects that nature that she has.
I love this jacket.
It's really pretty. I love the ones with the embroidery. So for some comments, Christine Turla says, I think Diane Keaton was classy.
She was
so
classy.
Much confidence in herself as a woman.
Yes, she was classy.
So Angela Bassett.
Oh, classy.
That's the thing is I feel like classy isn't doing her enough justice.
No, I feel like she's bigger than classy.
She's bigger than classy, but that's it. Like that. Yeah. What does that even entail?
I don't know.
Christine Aiklin says that it's not overtly sexual as well. Michelle says, my mother was definitely the classiest person I knew. Heather says, is classy related to class structure? I don't know. I
think it's easier to be classy when you have privilege.
That's what I think. Yeah. I think classy material class comes with privilege and like monetary privilege. But I think classy behavior is free. And I think classy behavior is just being good-hearted, good-natured. Mm-hmm.
And even-handed. In control of your emotions, I think. Emotionally regulated. This is today's deal of the day, by the way, guys.
I was just going to say, so throwback to, because I didn't miss it, I did see it, I was just waiting, but it took quite some time to get back to this Silk Mom, but Margaret Webb said the pasta tops are back.
The pasta tops are back, and they're still beautiful.
Oh, she just said the pasta is back, yes. And then...
makes me hungry for ravioli.
So this is the deal of the day. It's the versatile vest, but we also have other pieces in this silk within this collection. Oh, big yawn. My bad.
Oh, and a high-low top?
And a high-low. I love the high-low.
I love the high-low. Didn't we figure out you could wear a vest with a high-low? I think we did. We did.
I think so.
Yes, it was Hillary who did it. Or was it a poncho with a high-low? Well, a vest. No, it was a vest.
I don't know.
It was a vest.
Jordy says, knowing the rules and deciding this is what classy is. Knowing the rules and deciding for yourself which ones to follow and which ones to break. This is something Priya has said before. Classy folks will decide which rules to break. That's so essential.
Yes. I think it does really, for me, classy has a lot to do with integrity as well.
Say it with me now. Google integrity.
Google integrity. I think it does, though. It's about being authentic with who you are and how you show up, but also authentically being caring and kind and compassionate to the people around you, in a way that embraces people and brings them in instead of pushing them away. So there's no judgment. There's just love and space. Mm-hmm. But where I think it really needs to be tweaked is that, like, let's say somebody is a big personality, like big and maybe even like a little loud or takes up space. Does that make them not classy?
Well, that actually ties into my next question, but I'm just going to quickly read these comments. Jane says, authentically classy is Michelle. Yeah. Judy says, elegant, stylish, refined, graceful, and authentic. Jacqueline Webb says, Audrey Hepburn was classy for me. Jane says, ravioli. Sabina says, yes, Audrey Hepburn was also classy for me. And Jordy says, good manners, dressing well, and fighting against the worst parts of the status quo. So here's my question.
Okay.
And this one's going to put classy spinning on its head a little.
Okay.
I argue that despite...
In today's essay, my thesis will be...
In this essay, I will comes at the end. Okay. First, I hit you with the hook.
Okay, all right.
The hook is, despite being treated as a sex symbol and overly sexualized.
Okay.
I argue that two women of the same kind of like, who actually experience very similar like spewing of hate from other people.
Okay. They were
classy.
victimized by
They were
society.
both victimized by society, and they're both classy, even though being painted as sex symbols.
Okay.
One, Marilyn Monroe.
Who also had endometriosis. I was waiting for you to say that.
She also did have endometriosis.
Yes, she did.
Who?
Yes.
This one coming out of the woodwork, Pamela Anderson.
What? Is she classy?
She's really classy now. And I argue she's always been really classy. She's just like,
She had to
surrounded
fulfill
by
a
the wrong
role.
people. Yeah, and definitely played into the role that people put on her. But like, she's has a little like, she's always wanted to have like a little private life with her garden and with her family. Like, she's such a big, force in like the movement against hiding.
Proponent.
Thank you. Proponent against hiding aging.
Yes.
And like, she'll go on the carpet with no makeup and just like be like, I feel so beautiful because this is just who I am. Like,
Yeah.
she has always been very classy, and it shows that like you can be a classy person but kind of fall down different paths.
Yes.
And that, I think, if you look at the people she used to surround herself with, they weren't classy. And that was the point in her life where she wasn't recognized as classy.
Well, she did what she had to do to make a living.
Well, she didn't want, like, critically, she didn't put out the tape / want the tape out. It was put out against her.
Oh, was there a sex tape? Yes, I can't say that word here.
Yes,
I don't think I can.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yes, there was. And it was like a revenge thing against her, and it really blew up.
Oh, I did not
And
know
like
that.
that's why she was so big, is it was like the first celebrity tape like that.
Oh.
But it was,
I love this, by the way.
Put
This
out-
one's getting released on Sunday.
yeah, this one's really beautiful.
These are like
it reminds me
purpley.
of Cloisonne.
It does look like cloisonne. Yeah, red. And then this is gray that kind of goes like almost a fig color. Or hortensia. It's a purpley gray that goes more into a grayed lavender.
Ooh, Heather, very interesting. So, okay. So Jane says she's classy now for sure. And Christine says, I agree. Pamela Anderson has blossomed. She is a very classy woman. So, and I love her down. Heather Kavanaugh said Lady Diana.
Lady Diana.
So I love her down. She's very elegant. She's very she's slight. Okay.
I would say she was classy,
she's also
but
performatively classy because
of
she
her
was-
role.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
She had to use it to survive.
Yes.
And so even if it was authentically her, it was always used as like a guard, and you can like see that in how she behaved in the public, was like she was very limited because of the role that she was in and the family that she was in.
Yeah, she didn't have a lot of options. I feel like she was classy, but she was also naive.
I feel like
She grew into having a bit more savvy.
Yeah.
Because I think being classy does involve having some savvy.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is beautiful. This is one of the ones that's getting released as well. So the other thing I was thinking is, so as you know, well, go ahead.
I was going to say, and this might be also challenging what we believe classy to be,
Okay.
but I argue that Keke Palmer is also classy.
Oh, Keke Palmer. I think I may only know her for ads for like Peloton and stuff.
So Keke Palmer is an actress.
Yes.
She started out as a child actress. She was recently in I Love Boosters. She was in that movie Nope by Jordan Peele. She's in a lot of movies. But what I like about her and why I'd say Keke Palmer is that she's very loud. What?
It's Wabi Sabi.
Oh, she's a very loud and big personality, but she's also very authentic. She's very genuine. She's very kind. She really knows who she is for herself, but she's still firm. She'll still defend herself. She'll still speak for herself.
So very much like Michelle Obama.
Very much like Michelle Obama, but what I like is that it goes against the idea that classy needs to be demure or quiet.
Right. And that's a problem that I'm having with classy, is that often classy is demure. And there's got to be space for classy to have the option of being big.
And I think that's Keke Palmer. She's so classy. She's such And she's just such a warm-hearted, authentic person. But that doesn't mean that she's quiet. This is one of my favorite pieces in the collection.
Yeah, this is the one that Jane modeled. It's crazy
kind of like
beautiful. Now, this one also feels kind of chinoiserie inspired.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Jennifer Warren says one problem with classy is that it has an embedded message about women and their bodies, that you must be covered up to be classy. Yes. Michelle says, I completely agree with you. It is a knee-jerk reaction with me, especially during this discussion. And Jordy says, how about Dolly Parton?
I think she's classy.
Southern woman. And I think she's classy too. And I think that she does kind of talks, like speaks on that, where she's classy, but she isn't modest. But
no,
she is. But like
she is. But she's herself.
But she's herself. That it's like.
So is classy a patriarchal term?
Yeah.
Really?
100%. I do you one better.
Okay.
I believe it is a racially segregating term.
Interesting take.
Because I think it was used against. Because I think that the reason that Keke Palmer stands out for me is that.
I just don't know her well enough to like. I know, no. She's the wrong generation for me. I think.
Know. That's why I was hesitant to mention her, because she is the wrong generation, because she's quite young.
Yes.
But she's a Black woman. Like, she's a woman of color, and I think that. I mean, we're amazing, and that's why when we think classy, we think Michelle Obama. But I think a lot of people, when they hear classy, they automatically think older white woman.
Unfortunately, yes, because that was the model. That was the model that was given to us.
We're very lucky that now we have models. Like, Michelle is a very new model.
Oh, for sure.
You know? It changes a lot while still sticking true to what classy really means. Yes, Michelle, dang.
What did she say?
Spit and fire. She said classy versus classist.
Oh. She dropped the mic. Did you hear Michelle drop the mic?
I said, oh, y'all hear that? Did you hear that boom?
Yeah. So I was thinking something too, but it was such a long time ago, I may have forgotten it.
Then really?
Oh, no. Wait. I do remember. Do you remember how I said I saw Paul Simon yesterday? Well, an exciting detail that remind me that it was about Paul Simon.
Sorry, I just want to quickly say before we change subjects a bit, is that Jane says Dolly Parton. My daddy always told me you can't put 10 pounds of sugar in a 5-pound bag. Love that line.
Yeah, and I think what makes her classy is the way she's not afraid to embrace it.
Yes.
Right? And to make fun of it and to see it as part of her lovable self.
Yeah, and she takes she's classy in the way that she takes what people think would be trashy and makes it earnest and like authentic to her. So Paul Simon concert. So some of you who were teenagers in 1988 may remember this album. It was called Shooting Rubber Bands at the Moon. Is that the one with the circle?
Yes. It's called Shooting Rubber Bands at the Stars, and it was written by Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians. And it was I'm a part of a circle of friends, and we wonder.
Wait, and you don't come around.
And me, I think it all depends on you.
Sorry.
Yeah. So beautiful song. One of my favorite albums of my teenage years. And so yesterday when I was at the concert, this very classy looking lady came out.
So beautifully classy.
So classy.
Like, wow.
Did you see her? Did you go online and look it up?
You sent the video.
I sent a video.
And then you posted the video of her whistling along your story, and I commented, this is such a sweet video. They look so happy.
They do.
I didn't know they were married, guys.
So they're married. Edie Brickell is 24 years younger than Paul Simon. Yeah. Apparently they met at was that me? Apparently they met at a taping of Saturday Night Live.
Oh my God.
What?
Recently?
No. 20, like a bazillion years ago.
Okay, because I was like, he was just on SNL. Sorry, continue.
So she was on SNL with the New Bohemians, and she was singing some of the songs off of that album. And she looked over, and Paul Simon was standing beside the cameraman, and she forgot the words to the song. And now they have 3 kids together. And she says, when the kids ask, how did you and Dad meet? They always show that clip where she forgets the words, and she goes, that was when it was love at first sight with your dad.
No, that's
so cute. So she came out on stage, and he didn't introduce her until much later in the show, but she started singing, and I recognized the lilt of her voice. And there was a man sitting beside me who I think was dragged there by his wife, because he could not have been more like this through the whole thing. So I'm like, oh my God, is that Edie Brickell? And he's like, who? And I'm like, Edie Brickell. And so then I pull out my phone and I'm Googling it. And sure enough, they got married. They stayed married. They had 3 kids. Now he's 80. She's 60.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's 60. I just Googled.
She's 60. So he's 84. So she's there. And I'm guessing this is his last tour. And she was up on stage, and she had enough presence that she could have made that moment all about her. And she didn't. She deferred and allowed him to have his moment because it was so important to him. And she wasn't even wearing makeup, and her hair was a little frizzy and long. And honestly, she looked like any one of us.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that is one Canadian woman.
Yeah, well, that is one Canadian woman.
That was my thought.
Even though she's Texan, because she just seemed so real. And you could tell she was just excited to be a part of this thing that was not about her, but she was able to contribute to, like, give a gift to somebody else. Mm-hmm. And my first thought was, this lady is classy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edie Brickell is so cool.
I can't believe they stayed married.
No, when you're like, look, it's Edie Brickell, I said,
I can't believe you know Edie Brickell. I know I introduced you to her.
Yeah, because I was listening to Maisie. Well, it was funny because I almost sang her song at karaoke the other day with my friends.
Wow.
I almost sang Little Miss S.
Love that song.
I know, because it's so fun. Mm-hmm. But one day I was showing Mom this artist I like named Maisie Peters. And I really like her because her lyrics are she just is, her writing is just so beautiful. Like, it's not very deep that you have to unpack it, but it just still feels so true to her emotions. It's just really, I just really loved it. Anyway, so I was showing my mom some of her music, and she's like, she reminds me so much of who I used to listen to when I was a teenager. And so she showed me that Edie Brickell album.
Yeah.
And so I've listened to a couple of them. And then actually the reason why I was laughing that you had, and I was like, that's so funny that you had sent that, is I was watching this, someone had posted this reel, and it was a clip from this TV show Girls. And it was one of the characters had made this really embarrassing music video to the song. So It Was. So What?
From her?
From Edie, yeah. It's What It Was or something like that.
Oh, what I am is what I am, and what you are is what.
Yeah. And she's like, we need to take that video down. And she was just so embarrassed by it. So I was like, I didn't realize that it was her song. And then you were like, oh my God, it's her. And I was like, what a small world.
Yeah, it was crazy seeing her, because I knew I was going to see Paul Simon, but I didn't know I was going to see her. And it was really interesting to see a woman of that age, right? She was 60, but she was so authentic. And you could tell that it was her pleasure to be there in what will ultimately be one of her husband's last concerts. And he's 84.
And on the flip side, so also, Judy says it's different if you're saying classy, having class, or being classic. And then
yes,
Heather
that's a very good point.
Heather said Christiane Amanpour, Iranian and British journalists.
I know who you're talking about. I need to see a picture to totally zone in on who you're talking about, though.
But what I was going to say is on the other side of classy, because I feel like a lot of people don't think that she's classy. But for a while, I was like, hey, girl, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Who was being not classy?
Madonna.
Oh.
So for a while, I was like, I don't know what we're doing, girl. But now, I can't lie, I've really come around.
Really?
Well,
I'm having trouble with Madonna, I have to say.
Well, I know you have trouble with Madonna because then I too was having trouble with Madonna. But I was thinking, because I saw this post, and it was, you know when she did that song where she was like in a cowboy hat?
I don't know the song. Is it new or old?
Old.
That Candy one?
No, it was before Candy.
Oh, I don't know which one it was.
But basically she was 47.
Chiffon, by the way.
So when she did Confessions on the Dance Floor.
Yes, I remember that album.
Yes, Heather says Madonna would be the anti-classic.
Yeah, really
I agree.
is. Thank you.
Do agree, yes. I don't think she would fit into the classy conversation. But I do have to say that it's really interesting was that she was 47 when she came out with Confessions on the Dance Floor.
Yeah,
and
she was older.
She was older, and like...
I think I saw that tour.
No, you saw the Hard Candy tour.
I saw the Hard Candy tour.
Don't worry. I got that CD at the ripe age of 10. And I said, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I hope you enjoyed the Hard Candy tour.
Seriously. I don't think that would have been appropriate for you at age 10.
You're like, we got you a souvenir. But that was when she released 4 Minutes, and we were really into that song. But anyways, I realized that aside from Cher, who I don't think will ever die or ever get off the stage, Madonna has been the only woman who I'm aware of who's really stuck to the pop star formula, despite
What
her
about
age.
Tina Turner? Tina Turner was performing till she was in her 70s.
Yeah, but not to the same degree, I guess, where because I was thinking Taylor Swift at some point is going to stop doing these eras, she's getting older. Mm-hmm. Things are going to change. She's probably going to want to settle down because she's been doing this for so long. She's getting married and stuff. And I guess I just had a newfound appreciation for the fact that I guess I didn't realize that I had created this kind of thought process in the back of my mind that you would age out of being a singer, that kind of singer at some point.
Like a sex symbol.
Not even a sex symbol, because I don't think Madonna sees her acts still as a sex symbol, but she's still acts sexy. But she recently performed with Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
Which I was for anyone that would be so scary.
To be up next to someone so young.
To be up to someone next to someone so young, at Coachella, so it's an audience that might not be as familiar with you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was just really impressed that
You thought she was fearless.
I thought she was fearless because ever since I've been around,
yeah,
I have only ever experienced. So let me put it this way, because I've been fumbling around words. I have never experienced full-on adoration for Madonna. By the time I came around, people were saying she needs to get off the stage.
Yes, that's true.
And so that's all I've heard her entire career since she was 47
she's done.
Is she needs to get off the stage.
Yeah. So this is a high-low top with a matching jacket, kimono sleeve jacket.
And so I think that it's interesting because it brings up, I think, a class 2. Oh, Shafali says classy woman is Emma Watson.
She is classy. But is it because of her privilege?
Yes. I don't know. I think there's radical classy, and then it's a spectrum.
Classy. Well, I really like what Judy said, where there's classic, classist, and classy.
Well, because what I'm thinking is, I also think I think Miley Cyrus is a classy woman. But
I actually agree with you.
But she is a radical classy woman. And so that's what I see Madonna as, is a radical classy woman.
The reason that I agree with you that Miley Cyrus is classy is because I feel like she's been through it and she's on the other side of it. And she now has a perspective that's almost like wisdom. Mm-hmm. So is that a part of being classy? Mm-hmm. Is having wisdom. Having achieved wisdom.
Yes. I guess the reason I brought up Madonna is that she's quite similar to some of the women that we've mentioned, yet she doesn't make the cut.
She does not. Don't forget, though, she's in good company. I also did not make the
Well, I mean, like, it's hard to make the cut. But I just, like, I'm like, I also think the idea of classy is changing.
Okay.
When I think of classy, I find that I'm leaning more towards fierce.
That is too funny that you said the word fierce, because that's what I was thinking. When there was at one point you were looking for a word, and I think you were describing Keke Palmer, and you were looking for a word, and the word that came to my head was fierce, and I'm like, she doesn't mean fierce, but maybe she does.
I do, and that's kind of what I'm talking about, like, with the Miley Cyrus, Keke Palmer, even Madonna, honestly, is there's like a fierce aspect of classy, where it's like, I'm classy, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna roll over.
This is it. And because I worry that classy does not allow room for power.
Yeah, I find it's a classy that bites back. I'm not wearing shorts. Just one day
off.
I think this fierce classiness is a classiness that bites back.
Yeah, I think the modern classiness also includes strength.
Yeah.
And that's where I do think Audrey Hepburn and even Jackie Kennedy fall into being classy. Especially Jackie Kennedy. I think she was, who is Jackie Kennedy?
No, my God, that is not what I said.
Okay.
Are you kidding?
I was like, okay.
You're like, oh. No, I was going to say, I don't know if I think she's classy.
I think she was classy later in life.
Yeah.
But then when you watch her in that show, that new one that I've only started watching, the one with her son, JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette.
Yeah.
And you see how she was kind of priming Carolyn Bessette for being the heir to this whole thing. That was not classy. That was not classy.
You and me with Sorry Not Sorry.
Could you imagine? That would be so antithetical. Is that the word? To everything we stand for if I forced you to commit to a role.
Literally, like, behind the scenes, like, it's nice and happy out here. You walk behind the door, immediately it's Succession. It's high tense. It's terrible. It's rough.
So I am putting on these pants because we just got them in. I need to center myself. So we've been carrying pants like this for a long time. And the ones that we had before this latest shipment arrived were the same cut, but in like a t-shirt fabric, very lightweight, but a t-shirt jersey fabric. And they didn't have
built-in shorts.
And they did not have the built-in shorts. And then we showed you a couple of weeks ago, the stripy ones that were cotton that did have built-in shorts.
Yes.
But these are the OG ones that everybody fell in love with a couple of seasons ago, the ones that Mira has a bazillion of.
I think, literally, there's only 3 colors I don't have.
Yeah. So we have them again. These ones are made out of cotton voile. And I wanted to show them to you as part of our Light and Bright collection because they're so light and airy. And let me throw my shoes back on.
And we have quite a few comments.
I would love to hear these comments.
Okay.
And in the meantime, I will demonstrate how these pants work. Okay.
So, Kamani asked how much about a couple minutes ago.
Well, it could have been these because I had them on for quite some time. So this one is 187. And this one here, so all of our high-low tops are 187. And all of our kimono sleeve jackets, God, this is beautiful, are 158 Canadian. And what else would I have recently shown?
I don't know.
Let us know.
Let us know, and we'll let you know.
We'll let you know, yeah. So,
Chef says, classy woman is Emma Watson. If you want to look at very traditional definitions of classy, I personally think people who have values they stand by are classy, and sometimes that is purely situational. How someone acts when tested or in moments of in-between defines what classy is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Judy says, fearless isn't necessarily classy. Some would say Nicki Minaj was fearless. I wouldn't say classy, though. I would agree that Nicki Minaj was not.
No, I think it has to be fearless in a cluster of other characteristics. Mm-hmm. Fearless in showing integrity.
Yes.
That kind of fearlessness. Fierce in standing up for what's right. There's definitely a moral aspect to classy to me.
Jordy says, I think classy women have to be radical. I think in order to be gracious, you have to have some amount of power.
Yes.
Jess says, oh, Nikki, she is really not classy anymore. She definitely was in her peak. She had values she stood by. Jordy said, otherwise, you're just part of the ruling class, upholding the rules that keep other people down.
Yeah.
Jennifer Warren said, agreed. I dislike classy being used to police behavior, respectability, politics, and a way of scrutinizing behavior. Love your reframing classy as thoughtfully reclaiming power.
Yeah.
And then Heather says, Google integrity.
Thank you, Heather.
Beautifully done.
I will curtsy to that.
Done. And then Margaret Webb says, I agree with Priya in that class/classy is usually associated with privilege, but for me, a classy person has an internal refinement / rises above pettiness.
Yes.
Elegance / grace are bonus traits.
Yeah.
And then she says, yes, wisdom is key. Madonna is a no for me.
Yeah. And I think that's part of it too. It's rising above pettiness is classy. And that's where it integrates into wisdom.
So would we see Cher as classy? Yeah?
I do think so. Not in her youth, but I think now in how she shows up. If she just took a little bit more of a political stance, I would find her classier. Because I think using your power and your privilege to do something strong and good is also very classy. Like, it's not enough just to,
Well, I raise you another question.
Okay.
Can you be classy and a man?
So I thought Uncle John was classy.
Yes.
And he was the only man I could think of who I thought was classy.
I agree.
Yeah. But again, he came at that classiness from a place of privilege. White man with power. Very easy to be classy when everything is handed to you.
Yes. He did. It was self-made power, but it was easier to make that power.
Well, he was a teacher that rose up the ranks into superintendent of all superintendents because he was the only guy in the
Love
profession.
his outfit.
It's just like something you would wear, right? Mm-hmm. So let me take a minute to describe these tashi pants. So these are the cotton voile ones. They, as you can see, they have ruching that you can do up the side so that you can control the length. You can't really control the length in the middle here, but you definitely can pull up the sides enough that the middle does shorten by a few inches. And then you could just choose, like I've pulled them all the way up, but you don't have to. And they kind of turn into this really cool barrel pant style, which is so in right now.
It's really in.
It's like everybody out there in all the stores said, what pants would Priya love? And they all started making them. Because usually I look at pants that stores make and I'm like, never going to wear it. Feels like it's going to be tight. That looks really uncomfortable. That's not going to fit me. That's not going to go with the kind of clothes I wear. I wear flowy clothes. And now everywhere I look are these barrel pants. And I want to stock up on them because next year it'll probably all be skinny. So I've got this one small window of getting all the pants I will ever wear for the rest of my life, if I just do it right. But then, you got the Oliver pants.
Well, you know what? Actually,
pants.
I was going to mention this tonight because I was like, I experienced a real sorry, not sorry issue.
Oh, no.
It could only happen because of sorry, not sorry.
Okay.
It was that I have so many fabulous pants that are all so colorful and so comfortable.
Yes.
That I was paralyzed. And I could not decide what I wanted to wear. And I wanted to wear pants, but I said, I'll wear Tashis. What color Tashis? I'll wear my Casbah. What color Casbahs? And then I was like, and I can't even, it's the reason that this is hard is like any pants I wear today is a pant I can't wear tomorrow.
Says who?
Well, says me. So I'm like, I have.
You just keep talking. I'm going to unbutton my pants. Okay.
I'm like, I have a real problem here because I'm like, maybe I'll wear my yellow pants. And I'm like, what if I wanted to wear my yellow pants to work? I'm so clumsy. I'll probably spill something on my yellow pants.
So I saw this captivating, what does that lady call it?
Fascinating clip.
I saw a fascinating clip that came across my phone. And it was a woman who works in front of her computer all day. And she gets up and she just gets right in front of the computer like many men do. And she starts working and her colleagues are like, are you okay? And all you hear is her inner monologue like, Of course I'm okay. I just did exactly what you did, Todd. I rolled out of bed, I brushed my teeth, and then I put on the same shirt I wear every Tuesday. It was just really sweet. Because it's true, women put so much effort. Then later she's talking about her 7-step skincare routine and how she's exhausted because she had to wake up, shave her legs, do her 7-step skincare routine, put on something that nobody else had seen before, do her hair, and then she's sitting in front of the computer.
That's so funny. I literally, on my to-do list for today, it says skincare, comma, come on, girl.
Does it say, come on, girl?
Yeah. I'm just always so lazy. I don't want to do it. And I'm like, come on, girl, you gotta do it at least once.
So I have unbuttoned them, and I am now buttoned, and you can see there's shorts underneath, which are comfortable, but I know some ladies will just cut out the crotch on those. So you can wear these as a skirt as well. And we have them in a bunch of colors. So many comments.
Yeah.
Love it.
I forgot to scroll.
Okay, go ahead.
Classic. Shafali says, I think a classy woman is Rekha.
Rekha has, on her journey, Rekha is a very famous Indian actress from the 60s. She was one of the first sex symbols, really. Because it was the 60s, she was quite modern in expressing her sexuality on stage. She is also one of those actresses that a lot of people impersonate in drag.
Oh my God, I love her. She's so beautiful.
She's so beautiful. But she also she has got, for a woman of her age, an Indian woman of her age, she's got a mouth on her. She says exactly what she thinks, and she doesn't care if it raises eyebrows. I think she maybe leans a little too heavily into shock value, which for me moves her out of the realm of classy. Ooh. A little bit.
I don't know.
So here it is as a skirt.
But doesn't that she was in a movie directed by Mamdani's mom.
Yeah, Mira Nair.
Yes.
Yeah.
2. But I don't know, because if that might just be now she's part of the radical classy definition, because if anything,
she's breaking stereotypes.
Has done the same.
Yes, and she is saying things like, she talks very openly about threesomes and having affairs as a very normal thing. Like, she's just done pleasing the masses.
Which I think is also quite classy.
I think it has to do with how you do it. If you openly talk about your own experience in a very authentic way and say, I've discovered about myself that I am someone who prefers to be in a threesome, in some sort of a polyamorous relationship. That's what brings me the most joy. And you say that authentically, then I feel like that's really classy. But I think if you say it in a way because you want everybody's jaw to drop, less classy.
I think it is through this conversation I'm realizing that I have negative views of classy.
What does that mean? Hold on, I gotta name these. Watermelon. Burnt orange.
Mustard.
Is it mustard?
Mustard.
Mustard. I'm wearing olive. Do you know olive from Mira?
I think that's sky blue.
Sky blue. Or is it, this is the one that's like demoiselle? Demoiselle blue. Demoiselle blue.
So that one is either ocean or sky.
Ocean. So this is more teal. Mm-hmm. This is ocean blue. This one is, do we call it dusty rose or mauve? Dusty mauve.
Both. So what I mean by that Margaret Webb is actually wondering, what did you say the difference is between the cotton tashi and the voile tashi?
Oh, I'll show you. And this one is purple. Let me go get one of the other ones.
What I mean is, like, I find, and I think this is definitely like a personal sentiment, but like I find with classy, it's limiting. And like part of me feels like when someone wants to be classy, but I think it's really just that I am upset at the idea that like the idea of being classy is being quiet.
I think there was definitely a time where being and that's where I let, because I started writing my blog today, and I'm finding that I have to keep going in and rewriting it, because as I think to myself, I love the idea of classy. I would like to validate the importance of classy. Ooh. And then I think about what classy means, and I'm like, I don't like how that removes power from women.
Shafali also mentioned a really good point that I think connects to my thing about, because you were saying that Reiko isn't
Reka.
You don't know if you think that she's classy. Because Sabina agrees with you. She said, I'm not sure, Shefali. Reka, I think of her relationships. Because Chef also says Eartha Kitt. And Jordy says it's having privilege and turning that privilege into the rights for everyone.
Yes.
Judy says Mark Carney is classy, in my opinion, with the way he's dealing with all the crap he's inherited.
I think so too, because he's not getting petty. So I need to take a second to show you the difference. So cotton voile is a much softer, loose knit cotton, and it does not feel like a jersey. It's a voile.
It's a voile.
It's a voile.
And
Whereas
it's
this
lighter
feels like
than the linen.
Yes, it's lighter than the linen. It's a gauze. It's
like
almost
a
a
gauze.
gauze.
It's like a gauze,
It's a
yeah.
gauze. Whereas this is more of a t-shirt material.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Jordy. Oh, so this is what Chef said that I agree with, and I think this is part of, because I think when you were mentioning that, you were like, because of the way that she talked about like threesomes, I don't think she's classy. I like think that what bothers me is classy is like it fits back into that idea that you can't offend, but you can't be sexual and classy. I think you can be sexual and be classy at the same time. Because if you're being sexual, you're not a classy woman.
So I think you may be right. Classy.
It goes against women
classy and sexy do not
like
necessarily.
But I think you can be like a classy, sexy woman. And Chef says, because I think I was like, you know what? Because she brings up Taylor. And Elizabeth Taylor is I think she's classy, but so
you think she's classy based on what you know of her today. But if you lived during her time, she was not super classy.
Well, would you say that Taylor Swift is classy?
I refuse to answer that on the basis that I'm surrounded by Swifties.
No, because if you think that she isn't classy, that's also okay. But what I'm saying is she has compared herself to Elizabeth Taylor in the fact that she is not recognized as classy because she is always put with boy drama.
Well, the thing is, Elizabeth Taylor also generated her own drama.
Well, so Chef says, I don't consider relationships a part of class in a person. Like Elizabeth Taylor, she's viewed as classy, but she had a lot of interesting relationships, even Marlene Dietrich. Jordy says men can be classy, but it requires taking those privileges and making those benefits for everyone, not just those in power at the top. Mm-hmm. Judy says Zohran Memdani is also very classy.
He's so classy.
Sometimes classy is what you don't say. Chef says Zohran is one of the only men I consider classy.
Yes. And one of the few grown men who I want to pinch the cheeks of.
He's such a sweet guy. And then Judy says the cotton voile is like the tiered skirts. Yes, it is.
It is. Exactly.
And then Sabina says classy is so subjective with a...
Yeah, it's a lot. You know, like it was such a simple question that they said to me. And I literally went, I'm going to need to think about that. Well, and then I asked Shefali, and Shefali also went, I'm going to need to think about that.
And I think that is what I don't like about the term classy, is that it feels like I see it. I know I love this piece.
Wow. It's all my 1970s dreams.
What I get hesitant about with classy is that I find it's used against women, like to
better you're not being classy.
Yeah, it's used against women to like make them like feel like promiscuous and like feel guilt over any aspect of like having a sexuality and claiming that sexuality. Because women who are sexual, they'll be like, I'm comfortable in my sexuality. And they're like, but that's not classy. You're not being classy. Then where's the middle ground, you know?
So here's what I would say. The reason why I don't think that it's a sexist thing for me is that equally, if a man started talking about his sexual activities in order to create a shock value, I would also say that he was equally not classy.
But you might consider him a gentleman. If his actions are gentlemanly, but he was saying some kind of scandy stories. Like,
but no, scandy stories from like a wisdom, I did these crazy things when I was a kid. Maybe they weren't so crazy.
Well,
that's still classy. Let me see if I can make your jaw drop by telling you something that is just going to burn a hole in your brain. Not classy.
Well, here's the thing is classy and being a good person don't go hand in hand. And I think that's the thing that we haven't touched on is we have created a definition where if you're classy, you're also a good person.
I think that
because you have to be a good person to be classy. Historically, you did not have to be a good person to be a classy person.
I think you had to meet the standards of
society.
Just like in law, the standards of the reasonable man. But you had to be classy for the time.
But that's what I mean. And that kind of connects to why I was saying that it feels a bit like a discrimination thing because classy was reserved for the elite, for those with privilege. Classy has changed as society has changed. But I think because honestly, if I'm thinking about it, Don Draper,
not classy. He is not a classy guy. He's a dick. And that was actually his real name because you know that Don Draper's real name in the show was Dick something. Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
But he's a dick. But I mean...
Not classy. His wife wasn't classy either.
No, but they also kind of were. They just sucked as people.
No, they were performatively classy. They ticked off all the boxes without actually having...
That's what I'm saying, is performative classy is still classy. We just don't like it because it's classy without kindness.
But I would say that it's not really classy, it's performative. If they actually weren't
still recognized. If you think about it, and I'm so sorry to everyone to bring him up.
Who?
Trump is not classy in the slightest. No. Let me get that straight. There is no classy around that man.
She said Trump, guys.
But the weight that the Trump family has had in past years was they were never classy, but they had fit the role of what classy was in the past, that they had become a well-established name. You know what I mean?
Well, that was just money. That wasn't class.
But that's what I think. I think class, it's hard to have this conversation without discussing the money
in
aspect.
the Harry Potter universe.
Okay.
Who's classy? Professor McGonagall. But I mean, other than Professor McGonagall. Okay. I would say Mrs. Weasley's classy.
No.
Oh, she's so down to earth.
Mom,
she's kind to everybody.
She bullies half of the people. She bullies Fleur de la Cour. She hates on all of her kids except for the ones who do well. She hates on Percy even though he's just trying to please the family. She hates on Ginny. She hates on Hermione to the point that Hermione's always crying and hates visiting the Weasley family.
Really?
She is, in the books, she is a, pardon my language, a full B.
Really?
She sucks. She bullies Fleur de la Cour so much to the point that she almost doesn't marry one of the brothers.
Okay, so who are the classy people? I don't think it's Dumbledore. He lies too much.
The classy, well, that's it. But that's the thing, is technically Dumbledore is classy.
He's not.
And McGonagall lies a lot too.
She doesn't lie.
She lies for the greater good. His lies are obviously way worse.
Yeah. But his lies are manipulative.
I don't know. This is I think the issue is I always, for so long, I have I don't.
This one's a pure white.
It is, and it's so nice. Mm-hmm. It's just so tricky because I don't know if I see classy as something that is inherently
Is classy
positive.
Desirable?
I don't know if it's positive.
Interesting. So it's outdated. It's an outdated concept.
I think that's why I find I'm so on the fence about this and find it difficult to try and pin down a real
example,
because I find that it is just so, it feels quite elitist in different ways,
Classy does feel elitist.
It feels very elitist, that I feel like it's always trying to demonize. It's this is good, but this isn't. I feel like when it comes to classy, there isn't just a this is good. It's a this is good because this isn't good.
Okay, so classy is the absence of certain traits.
Yeah.
And one of those traits to you is overt sexuality.
Not even overt sexuality, but I think just sexuality.
Okay, Marilyn Monroe, classy or not classy?
Well, that's the thing is I thought that she was classy, but people don't think that she's classy because she was sleeping around. She was a sex symbol. Even though the way that she moves, the way that she acted towards people, everything about her was very classy. She is not recognized as classy.
What are the ladies saying?
I was just going to say, Judy says, not a gentleman if he's talking about his sex life.
Yes.
Chef says, classy also suggests refinement. I think even a small village girl from a low class in India has as much, if not more class than a woman of a certain aristocratic status.
Yes,
I agree. I agree with that. Michelle says, listening to this, I'm thinking about how different the term was in 1980 versus what we are discussing as classy now. When I think of classy, I really do think of like a 1930s, 1940s woman.
Yeah, very put together white gloves.
Very put together white gloves. Yeah. And also very much of a different world.
Stepford wife.
Yes. Shafali says, Lorelai's mom from Gilmore Girls.
In the worst way. She's not classy. She's judgmental.
That's the thing, Mom. That's what I'm saying is that classy, there is good in classy, and classy has changed because we have changed what we view as classy. She is stereotypically classy.
Wow.
That is what a classy person is. She's in higher society. She's working with charities. She's having high-end meal. Like all of the things that she's doing is what a stereotypical classic woman was or is.
Let me throw something else into the mix. I follow a feed called something paintings, understanding paintings or something. And there's this one painting that they showed a couple of days ago. It was from the Saturday Evening Post, and it was called Sunday Gardener, if anybody wants to look it up. And it's two houses side by side. It's like a townhouse. And one half of the house is beautifully maintained. The owner of the house is out there with his, like he's got tiny scissors and he's clipping his hedge so that it is absolutely perfect. And his lawn is absolutely perfect. And the paint on the house is bright and fresh. And it's called Sunday Gardener because he works all week. But when he comes back from work and he's not working, he's working on making sure that everything represents who he is. Mm-hmm. So he gets no break, right? Mm-hmm. He's working to be who he is. And then he comes home and he works on his house. So it looks like who he is. And then the neighbor is the complete opposite. The neighbor is sleeping on the porch with a newspaper over his face. The lawn is a disaster, but you can tell that he has family and stuff and kids because there's kids' toys playing like on the ground. And the question is, who's happier? If life is about joy, which one of these two people has joy? The one who's performatively meeting all of these expectations, mm-hmm. read being classy, mm-hmm. or the person who is living their best life, recognizing what's important and what's not important? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I think the one with the kids' toys. Yeah. I really like that outfit that you're wearing. Also,
thank you.
Jordy is wondering if you could go over the maxi caftan with that amazing embroidery again.
Yes.
To tell us, is it stitching? Is it white on white kind? I'm the chicken curry.
It's not chicken curry, actually.
And then when you so Heather also said Dick Whitman was, I guess.
Dick Whitman, that's his name. Yep.
Judy said never considered classy by anyone. Jane says trash money. When you talk about Harry Potter, Chef said Hermione. I was also thinking Hermione. Judy says Professor McGonagall. Yeah. Chef says Fleur was classy. Fleur was actually very classy. I'd also honestly say Luna Lovegood was very classy too. Fred and George Weasley.
Were they classy though? They were silly.
Judy said the number on this one. Thank you, Jordy. She said PRC 7979.
So I'm just going to let you know, this is all machine embroidery. It's not shikankari work. That is usually just done with white thread. And they use it to create eyelet as well. And it's a lot more like tiny little stitches. I always think of, when I hear the word chicken curry, I always think of like
chicken curry.
I do think of chicken curry, but I also think of the little scratches that chicken scratch. Yeah, because that's what it reminds me of. But this is actually machine embroidery. Machine embroidery. And that's what the back of it looks like.
Sabina says, I agree, Mira. I'm not sure I even like the word classy. Judy says, classy but incredibly naive. Jane says, I don't think Marilyn Monroe was classy. Judy says, Marilyn was classic but very naive.
She was.
And then Judy had to go and said, have a great weekend, everyone, and happy hunting.
So I think it must be 10.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What time is it?
It's 9:59.
Oh my gosh. See, I did it again.
You did it again. 1 minute off.
I have this magic power. So,
Chef also said, sorry, Mom. She just said, that's very complicated. I think that people choose to find joy in a certain life. You can believe a more superficial life is true joy, or if you choose to seek simpler joys in life. I actually agree with that, because I realize that I stake my happiness on a lot of small things, because it feels like it can be very easily derailed by placing it on happy things.
Yeah.
Like on like the bigger things. And so I do find that the joy that I feel in my day-to-day is filled by small joys. It's, oh, I'm driving and
the sun is shining.
Not even the sun is shining, like, oh, I'm driving and I pass a house and I see that there's a little boy in the window and he's looking for his dad's car for when he comes home.
Aww.
Or I'm driving by and I hear these two kids and they're running on their balcony and they're chasing each other. And I'm like, they're having like a normal childhood day and they have no idea that everyone else is driving to work. Or like, I see a dog poke his head out the window. And like, just like small things like that where I'm like, wow, like that's such a quick glimpse into someone else's excitement.
This is like satin, it's so soft. Go ahead, keep talking.
Chef said, oh, I'm driving and my car didn't break down. Joy! And then Jordy says, Shafali, thank you for putting these amazing collections together. This was another great one.
This was another great one. It really was. And very needed. Mm-hmm. Like we hadn't really considered that whole light and bright idea.
Each one was so interesting too.
And overlooked generally. Mm-hmm. Like there are pieces here that we've had for so long, but they get overlooked. I was going to say something about that Sunday gardener. I was trying to decide which one I thought was happier, the man who was pruning his hedges or the one who was relaxed with the newspaper. And what I decided it comes down to is who is happier in what they're doing. They could be actually equally happy.
That's very
right.
true.
The one who because he has a baseball game in the background. I didn't mention that. There's a TV on his porch. There's a baseball game. There's a dog. And he's out there enjoying this beautiful sunny day, listening to the baseball game, taking care of the things he loves. Mm-hmm. And that might actually bring him joy on a Sunday. So maybe he's not doing the wrong thing. I think what would make it the wrong thing is if he does it only to keep up with expectations, or if he's doing it to show his neighbor that he's better than him. All of those motivations make it a waste of time. Mm-hmm. But if it really truly brings him joy for himself, he's winning. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think we're done, ladies.
I think so.
Thank you so much for joining us. This was another fun Friday night. I hope you enjoyed the conversation and the little fashion show. If you are interested in joining us for the Swap and Sell weekend, please comment weekend. If you're interested in sorry guys.
That's so funny. Jane said, good night, Gus, enjoy, and good luck. And then Jordy said, I know that was an autocorrect, but I want to say good night, Gus, too.
I love that. So if you are interested in joining us for the Swap and Sell weekend, please comment weekend, or if you go to our website, there's a banner that moves across the top that you can click on. If you're interested in ordering linen or you have questions about linen, comment linen, or go to the linen section on our website. You can find out more about what's coming in and what you can pre-order for fall. And we will see you all on Sunday, hopefully, and you can grab most of these beauties right now, but some of these beauties, about 20 of them, will be available on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take your time, because it's not like the mad rush that happens normally. Like if there's something you are dying for, definitely get in there right at 8. But even if you wander on in later in the evening, there's still at least half of them left. So have a great weekend. Comment drop for the link to today's collection, and we'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.
Bye.